Welcome to the podcast. I'm Kelly Saraki, the Loyalty Program Manager here at Stenograph. We're here to talk about the Apex ecosystem. Apex is one of Stenograph's newest products designed to bring court reporters and agencies together in an integrated ecosystem, allowing them to handle everything from scheduling a job to billing and payment, everything in between, all from a single application. We're really excited to talk about the product and all of the gains that both reporters and agencies can see. We have a great team from Stenograph here to talk about the product. So I'd like to go around and introduce everybody. I'll start with Prathul. Could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role in Apex?
Sure. Thanks, Kelly. I am Prathul Patel. I'm the Senior Product Manager for Apex, the solution that will connect the reporters, agencies, and the law firms. I've been with Stenograph for about 9 months, and love to be here and creating this product for the benefit of agencies, reporters, and law firms.
Great. Lucy?
Hi, I'm Lucy Smith. I joined Stenograph about 1.5 years ago, and my focus is on our software solutions for reporters. So I manage Catalyst, our CaseViewNet product for real-time reporting and other such things. But in respect to Apex, what I'm managing is really the interconnectivity between Apex, the agency solution, and the reporters who work for them. So I've looked for ways to create efficiencies that are really unlike anything that Catalyst has ever provided.
Great. Jeff, could you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Jeff Cobb, and I'm Senior Director of Enterprise Sales with Stenograph. And I have been involved in the industry for many, many years, about 40 years, starting out in the Marine Corps as a court reporter. And my involvement with Apex actually started about 2 years ago when I had dinner with the president of Stenograph, Anir Cuda, who said, give us a day in the life of an agency. And I had just managed a multi-million-dollar agency up in the Bay Area. And here I am 2 years later, still doing that. And having a lot of enjoyment with a great team here at Stenograph to bring these solutions to you.
Great. Jim?
Thanks, Kelly. My name's James Cuda. I've been with Stenograph for over 25 years and had a bunch of different roles in the organization, from support to marketing. And most recently with development, I'm the QA and documentation manager in development. And my role with the Apex project is quality assurance, so the testing and then documentation, so help documentation for the products. So my knowledge of Case Catalyst is quite extensive, and I'm happy to bring that knowledge to Apex.
Great. Cathy, could you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Cathy Carpenter. I'm a district sales manager for Stenograph and have been with the company for about 2 years. Before that, I was a court reporter, and I'm very familiar with the processes that court reporters use to turn in jobs to different agencies, and I've been able to use Apex to see what a time-saving feature it truly is.
Great. So we talk about Apex as an ecosystem, but kind of what does that really mean? Jeff, could you what does the ecosystem that we talk about with Apex mean to you, and what will it mean to our customers?
Sure. Well, the reality is people are making their livelihood from Apex, whether it's agency owners or reporters or even the lawyers who consume the product that's created. Everybody's making a living out of the importance of this solution that we're creating. And so we've termed it an ecosystem. It ties deeply into each stakeholder's daily lives. And so though it is an enterprise solution, we are bringing it all together for everybody to ideally work in an enjoyable environment. It's reliable, it's secure. And so that's why we've termed it an ecosystem. And it's a living, breathing environment that we are going to continue to help grow and improve upon as our crazy technology in this world changes every day, it seems like.
That's great. Prathul, how would you describe the ecosystem?
very similar to what Jeff said, but in general, what's an ecosystem? If we understand, for example, we understand it better when we take an example, right? So for example, with an iPhone, with an Apple, what did Apple do with iPhone? They don't just have a phone, but along with the phone they have iCloud, and there's so many other services that integrates with it. They created a marketplace within there's an app store, and everything integrates all together. So they are trying to provide more and more value to their customers, to the users, by integrating different systems together and bringing one single experience. So that's what we are also trying to do here. We have many different use cases and different types of users and customers. We have customers that are agencies, we have law firms, we have the reporters who we have been serving for a very long time. Now bringing them all together on a single platform, that's a ecosystem.
That's great. So Lucy is the product manager for Catalyst. How do you see Catalyst fitting into this Apex ecosystem?
Well, the really cool thing is when a request comes in, when an agency first learns that there's a deposition, there's going to be a deposition. They might have very limited information. So a client needs a meeting room next Tuesday at 4:00 or at 9 a.m. That's all they know at the time. What this Apex ecosystem does is it allows the agency to get started scheduling that appointment. And then as they know more details, even after they've scheduled a reporter and used Apex to find a reporter that's suitable for that job, any more details that the agency finds out as the job date approaches gets put into Apex and then transitions through the system into the reporter's Catalyst software. So when the reporter gets ready to work, they'll have access to a job worksheet that shows the agency, the services that they offer, what's been ordered. They'll be able to start writing immediately and have the data that the agency put in, like the witness's name, the appearing attorneys, the location, the time, all that information that is put in will flow into Catalyst. And for example, one of the wow moments that people remark on is we are able to take that information and custom plop it into their appearance page or their title page and be able to just automatically do that. It'll save the reporter time, for example, having to not type all that information, having to not check spellings. They still might double check to make sure the witness spells their name with one S or twos, but it should be a lot faster for them and save a lot of time. And that goes all through the process. We've looked at the entire process that the reporter part of the workflow is and thought, how can we use the data from Apex? How can we use what's going on in Apex better to make the reporter more efficient? Not just during the time that they're reporting as we have in the past, but before and even after when it comes to submitting the transcript and creating an invoice.
That's great. Cathy, as somebody who's used Catalyst, how do you see Catalyst fitting into this Apex ecosystem?
Catalyst is the heart of it, in my opinion, is the reporter. When you open Catalyst, or even while you're working within it, you see the job notification or you see something pop up. But then when you finish editing your job and you want to add in your title page and appearance, like Lucy mentioned, that's a huge time saver. You insert your include file and almost everything populates. As long as it's in the notice, it shows up in your title page. And that can save anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 minutes, depending on the size of the caption. And then the same thing when you turn in the job. Different agencies have different sheets that they use to submit for billing and for, production. And in Catalyst, you can do that all right within it and save all that time of filling in the same information that you filled out in the beginning of your appearance page. So it's going to cut down on a lot of time for the reporter outside of working on the actual transcript.
That's really exciting. Jeff, so you mentioned in your introduction that you formerly managed an agency. Why do you think Stenograph decided to create a product that incorporates court reporting agencies?
Well, I think that Stenograph's acquisition of YesLaw was a key driver for Stenograph realizing that their solutions could be extended to other stakeholders in the industry. And Yes Law is our production tool. Everybody knows it's an incredible product for creating PDF with linked exhibits and word index, as well as synchronized video and audio that the attorneys use in presenting their case. And I also used to be a hot seat technician and helped lawyers present their cases in court. So we extended that type of capability with Apex. And as an agency manager, one of the areas that I saw big gaps in our workflow and our bottlenecks were getting the information from the law firms completely so that we could schedule and source a reporter, as Lucy said earlier. And so we're applying AI technology to these emails that the law firms will be sending in and the notice of depositions that they use to schedule the deposition. By grabbing that information and auto-populating the fill-in field, it saves an agency scheduling team a lot of time, energy, and effort to get the right information for the job. They just look at it, confirm it, boom, now they're off finding the right reporter for the job. So there were so many areas of bottlenecks that I saw in the scheduling process, from getting all the information from the law firm, the right information from the law firm, and then delving into finding the right reporter for the job. It was pretty obvious that we could provide and improve that environment for everybody.
Definitely. That's great. So there's so many features that I think we've already mentioned and things that we've talked about with Apex and with Catalyst and the integration. The thing I am most excited about with the Apex ecosystem is the loyalty program. As the loyalty manager, I think it's really exciting that reporters will be able to earn points that can be used towards the purchase of Stenograph products, writers, services, just for completing jobs and doing things that they do every day. We think that reporters really could earn, on average, up to $400 in points a year that can be used and redeemed towards Stenograph products. And that's a big deal. That's a really big advantage of this program. So I think that is really exciting and something new that we're bringing to the industry. Jim, what do you think is your kind of favorite feature about Apex or Catalyst?
It's actually hard to choose the answer to that, a single favorite. I think if we were to look at the Apex on the Catalyst side of things, we could really consider it one feature. And so, if I were to pick a name for something, I would say the job assignments pane. That's huge in Catalyst. That's the central place where the information comes together. So we've talked about, having data in one place now, this ecosystem that we have. And really from job assignments, just from that one area in Catalyst, a reporter can start a job. They can see upcoming jobs. They can get information about jobs. So really that's like a central hub. So job assignments pane would be a key feature. But really that's a launching point for Apex as a whole. And then there's also the business center. So just the ability to have invoicing and billing all from one central place. So not separate softwares or multiple softwares, using Excel for this and then Quicken for that, and then trying to integrate with some other system at the agency and figuring out invoicing and billing. It's all in one place. So Apex with Business Center, it's incredible.
Yeah, I think that's really, that's such a great key point, is that there's so many aspects now that have to be handled in different pieces of software. And really with Apex and with this integration with Catalyst, we're bringing it into a single application. Lucy, what feature are you most excited about, or is your favorite feature?
Well, Jim kind of stole my thunder. I think the Business Center is something that I'm pretty excited about. We did have a small product called Reporter Suite, which was a separate web-based product that our customers could use to track time, to track their expenses, to create invoices. And when I've talked to reporters, I find that, there are some that are sophisticated. They're using QuickBooks or Quicken, and they're creating, their invoices in an accounting system. But there are many who just create an invoice in Word or in Excel. They've laid out something, but then they email it. They have a whole process they need to go through. Being able to do that at the end of the job, our reporters are artisans, really. They're experts at taking the record, at that verbatim capture of what went on in the room, and turning in a beautiful transcript. And being able to take that and handle some of the less fun parts, like scheduling, creating the invoice, managing, their, accounts that have been paid or not paid. By trying to take that away is pretty good. But Jim mentioned the job assignments pane. The other thing that I think is really cool is our notifications pane. When a reporter is on the record, they're under a lot of pressure. And if they go off the record for 5 minutes, they might have to check their phone, check their email, have a bio break. They're trying to squeeze a lot into that time when they're off the record. With Catalyst having all this integration with Apex, they can check their notifications pane and see, I have a job proposal, click it and accept it just that fast. They can also see that a time changed or something instantly, and it went into their calendar. It went into their system with that with those changes. If an appearance was added, it's all automatic. So they don't have to go to their phone, their email, call somebody back. I think that's probably a synopsis of the things that I'm most excited about.
That's great. Prathul, kind of on the agency side, what part of Apex are you really excited about? Or do you have a favorite feature?
Like Lucy said, I think most of our all of us are really excited about the ability for a connected system. But if I had to be really specific, Jeff just talked about how Stenograph acquired Yes Law, and being able to integrate Catalyst, Yes Law. These are the existing software system that Stenograph has, and being able to seamlessly integrate them and using them for productivity gains is really is something that I'm really excited about, how we are going to bring value to all the segments of our market and customers.
Definitely. Cathy, so when you were working as a court reporter, what feature, looking back now, if you had this latest version of Catalyst that was integrated with Apex, what would have really been that game-changing, time-saving feature for you?
I think as a reporter, the biggest time-saving feature is, like I mentioned earlier, with having something that can autofill in your title page, your attorneys. I mean, if you have to go back and change a attorney's name, like if somebody else shows up, that's a lot less time than having to look up an agency, fill in all of their contact info. And sometimes there's only 2 attorneys. Sometimes there's 20. As long as they're all listed in the notice, they'll get imported into it, and it's going to save a lot of time there. I also, it's not the biggest time-saving feature, I think, but like Lucy mentioned, the notifications. I've had multiple jobs where, my phone is in my purse. I don't see it until we're on a break or over. And I have text from the agency saying, oh my gosh, can you go to this job as soon as yours is over? Well, with Apex, I can see a little notification pop up right in there. So I could look over, check the time, and, click yes or no, which would help them scheduling also whether, hey, yes, I can make it, or no, you need to look for someone else.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think with all of these different time-saving features that we have, really, we think it's going to save reporters. It could give them back up to a month of time. And that's huge. I think all of these, features taken separately may appear like, oh, well, that's not, that large of a time savings. But really, when you scale it up and put them together, a month back of time is huge. And that's really exciting. So Jeff, when you were managing an agency, what do you think, if you would have had Apex then, what would have really been exciting for you, or that feature that you were like, oh, that's cool?
Yeah, no, there's one that just jumps out at me, because when I took over managing the agency, it used to be that at 4:00 every day, we'd have a pool of reporters sitting around waiting for us to give them their jobs. And it was always the challenge of, okay, well, who's not going to get a job today? Because we don't have enough jobs for all the reporters we have waiting for us. Well, over the last, I'd say the most recent 5 years, that has turned upside down. Now you have reporters who are getting offered jobs from all over, and you now have to schedule reporters months out in advance. So the portion of Apex that I'm very excited about is the ability for these reporters to create individual profiles that let the agencies know that they're available, what are the services that they offer, what's the geographical area they cover, do they do remote depositions, what are their specialties, do they like doctor depositions, do they like trials. So the profile ability, the ability for the independent reporters, videographers, interpreters to create profiles, not only saves those independent reporters and resources a lot of time, energy, and effort, but also the agency in trying to find the right reporter to cover the right job, or the right videographer, or the right interpreter. Huge benefit. To your point, time saving tremendously on the agency side. I can't tell you how many times I'd hear my scheduling team make a phone call, say, okay, great, you can do this. You can, oh, you don't like doctors. Okay. On to the next dialing for dollars. And I'm sure from Cathy's standpoint, from the reporter's standpoint, they don't like those phone calls either. It just wastes their time. So the fact that they can create profiles is a tremendous time saver. Also, from an agency standpoint, it's very beneficial with Apex. We're pricing it in such a way that you're only spending money if you're making money. Cash flow is king when it comes to small businesses. And so, especially in the last couple of years that businesses have experienced tremendous downtime, but they're still paying high software licensing fees. That'll never happen with Apex for an Apex agency. We're only charging you when you're using the product all the way through. So we're very excited about being able to bring that type of business solution.
So Lucy, how will reporters who want to be part of this integration with Apex and take advantage of these new Catalyst features, how are they able to do that?
For Catalyst reporters, they do the same operations from within Catalyst. So they can create their profile, be notified by agencies that jobs are available, be discovered, because one of the things that we hear is that agencies have trouble covering all the jobs that they have available. And the cool thing is, people ask us, well, how much does this cost for a reporter to participate? And they're just flabbergasted when I tell them it's nothing. The cost, if you use the Apex website, it's free for a reporter. The agency pays by the job they do, but the reporters and other resources can use that for free. And the integration with Catalyst comes along with their Catalyst software. So if they're already a Catalyst user for version 21 or later, this is version 21.5, where the integration starts. That's all free and included in their Catalyst subscription. Plus, they earn loyalty points for the jobs that they complete.
So with developing any new product, there are always, challenges and hurdles to kind of overcome. Lucy, what do you think was one of the biggest challenges that you've had when we were developing this product?
Me. I know the answer.
Yeah, Jeff, you're a blessing, not a challenge.
Right.
An opportunity. No, I think one of the challenges was really just thinking how big this is when compared to what Catalyst was before, and thinking about how to integrate it, how to make it fit into workflow. We use the term make it look Catalyst-y. Our customers are used to using Catalyst, and how do we make this web application that Prathul is building for agencies present itself to our reporters in a way that is very easy for them to adapt, fits into their environment well, and just, makes sense to them. So taking all that kind of big functionality and putting it in, like a waiter has that cup of coffee when you're done with your meal, we wanted to serve up that solution or that functionality that the reporter needs at the time that they need it. So, for example, when a job's at a certain stage, it's time to create an invoice. You don't create an invoice when you haven't even accepted it. And just making sure that our fabulous team with a lot of experience here just worked on that together. It wasn't a challenge as much as it was more of a fun puzzle.
That's great. Jim, you've seen a lot of releases of products and new products in your time. What do you think was a challenge or an obstacle that we saw with this, with Apex and Catalyst?
I'm gonna, in a lot of ways, I think, echo much of what Lucy mentioned. But one of the things I've seen, not that I've been necessarily involved with the, hands-on engineering of the product, but I've been involved enough to see how things are made and understand how many different disciplines have come together in creating this product. All of the different, technical behind the scenes, the tools that are being used, and the expertise that the individuals utilizing those tools have is quite impressive. It's amazing. But when you compare it to, like you mentioned, something we've done in the past with Catalyst, Catalyst primarily is a single platform product. It's a Windows-based product. It runs on Windows. There's a certain tool set that goes into designing and creating that product. Throw that out the window with Apex in a lot of ways, because now we're branching not only, as Lucy mentioned, to have this Windows-based product interface with this web-based product, but what does a web-based product actually even mean? It means a whole lot of things. There's a whole lot of tool sets. There's a whole lot of software that goes into creating that web product that all had to come together. So really what the team's accomplished is quite impressive. How the knowledge set that everybody has that's behind this product is incredible. Beyond that, I would say a non-technical challenge, more of that puzzle that Lucy mentioned, is creating a system that makes sense not only for agencies, but also for reporters, right? So you have a single system that wants to service not agencies, clients, attorneys, and reporters. And you want to bring that all together, and you want it to be somewhat uniform so that you don't have three different softwares, right? They have to look that like they fit together, like they belong in the same world. But each of the different pieces have to understand what you're saying. So reporters might refer to something differently than an agency refers to something. The product, the production staff at an agency has to know what you're talking about. And that goes to all the careful thought and planning that went into the product to make sure that what's presented at the time it's presented is correctly presented to the person that's viewing it. So that was quite a challenge, I would say.
We are getting ready to launch Apex and the next version of Catalyst. But this is just the first iteration of that. So Prathul, where do you see this ecosystem evolving to? What do you see for the future of Apex?
There are lots and lots of opportunities here. So we are just entering the market. We are just entering and this whole ecosystem that we have been talking about. But the opportunities are like providing a whole slew of insights and reportings that the agencies would want, the reporters want, enhancing the artificial intelligence behind everything. Now that we know what's going on, what data is being used and how is it used, we can use that to include and incorporate some of the artificial intelligence, which is a great buzzword out in the market today. There's a reason why it's a buzzword, right? Because it provides so much more value. So that's another area. And then looking forward, we are more and more dependent on our phones and mobile systems. So bringing a lot of these experiences on our mobile phones. For example, the reporters have Apex right on their mobile phone and be able to do a lot of things that they are doing using a computer today, computer or iPads straight right from their mobile phones would be a great value to them Likewise, for the law firms also, they don't want to spend too much time on the computer. Instead, they want to do what they are good at, which is running their law firm business, and bringing the functionalities on their phone will be a great thing. So I can keep on going, but as you can see, the possibilities are endless, and we are just beginning.
That's great. Lucy, where do you see Catalyst? How do you see Catalyst evolving in this, in the ecosystem?
I think that reporters who know our software well, or even those who've used other systems and take a look at this, will see how it opens up opportunity. There's data that is in the system that we can use to make things smarter, to provide insight, as Prathul said. I just think that Catalyst is on its version 21. It's been around for over 2 decades. But we have these two pieces, the pre-job work and the post-job work, that are really a version 1. And as soon as people see that and see how Catalyst has expanded, we're going to have a lot of customer feedback about what they wish it could do. And that's always fun to hear. That as a product manager, I love to hear people say, this would be great, and can it do this too? Or I know that Catalyst counts word rates, or Catalyst keeps track of things. How can we use that? And I'm looking forward to hearing from customers what they think. We've already gotten a lot of input as we built this vision, but what the future holds is going to be exciting to hear what our customers want most.
That's very true. Cathy, in your opinion, you're out talking to customers every day. Where do you see the future of this integration in this product going to?
I don't even know. I know the more I use it, the more ideas and questions I've had and I've asked Lucy and gone to her with. And I'm just me. So of all the people that are going to start using it and the different things they do than what I do or have done, I think the possibilities are endless. And the more reporters start using it, the more we're going to be able to work on it and expand.
Definitely. It's exciting. It is that future is kind of, who knows what's out there? Who knows what integrations? Jim, the same question to you. Where do you see the future of all of this evolving to?
I think I'm just going to echo what's been said pretty consistently. I'm really, really genuinely curious as to how our customers are going to react when they use the product, and what kind of questions and enhancements are going to come from that direction. I think they're going to I think that's going to set our direction. More than anything else is the feedback we get from customers using the product, and then from that setting a course. But I agree with what everybody said. We have so many opportunities with AI, and we have so many opportunities to make things more mobile, and then we also have the opportunity to take feedback from customers. So I think sky's the limit based on that.
And Jeff, I'll just finish off. Same question to you. You're out there talking to agencies every day. So where do you see Apex from where it is now kind of evolving in the future?
Yeah, actually, I want to take a step back and look at our history to try and see the future, because I actually was with Stenograph back in '91 when my arms gave out on me and I couldn't report anymore. But at that time, we had 3 different DOS systems. We were on, using box computers that reporters would take to jobs. Real time wasn't even out there. And we have evolved to today where we've got paperless machines, digital audio, synchronized. We've taken all the investment that the reporters have given us, listened to them throughout the whole time frame, and developed the products we have today, which are real time on iPads, real time anywhere in the world simultaneously, people being able to edit the transcript simultaneously. These are things that Stenograph has brought to the clients because we've listened to them. And we're excited to do that with the agencies and the reporters continuing on. And we may listen to the lawyers. I'm not sure. That's still, no, we will. We will. But really, the agencies who and the reporters will really be giving us great feedback where we can evolve this product to serve their clients, the lawyers, and the judges and the courts and bring them the best solution. So there is, I look at this as you've got a marathon runner, a master swimmer, and a century cyclist all coming together and saying, well, you have to learn how to swim now, and you have to learn how to run, and you have to learn how to ride a bike really fast. And they're going, well, why? I'm doing just great on my own. Well, no, we have to bring you all together. You're going to do a triathlon. You're going to be great, and you're going to feel great about yourself afterwards. So that's really what we're trying to accomplish. And I know we can do it with the help of our great client base and the great team we have here. And really, hats off to the product team, the QA team that's catching so many areas to improve this product. So
that's very true. And I think that the fact that we have such a great team, I just want to thank everybody, here on this podcast for participating. I think it's been great to have all these different perspectives and opinions and views on really this big product and what it can do. And I also encourage anybody who is listening to this podcast to keep checking Stenograph emails and social media. We'll be releasing Apex soon, and you can find out more information at stenograph.com/Apex.